What if your life was just a little bit easier? What if, like, just like a little bit? That's the dream, right? That's literally what we want all the time. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I sit here all the time going, I just want things to just be a little bit easier. Can things just be easy? Can I just let something be easy? Can't anything just work? So that's why in today's video, I want to share with you the top 3 things that you can do to start making your life easier. I'm not just talking to talk here either. These are things that I've done that have drastically up-leveled my life, made my life a lot easier, even when things have gotten 20 times as insane. So let's get into it. Number 1 is plan out your day, week, month, whatever works for you. If you're anything like me, you're probably rolling your eyes because when I first heard this advice, I did the same dang thing. I can't plan my days, things are too insane. What if a kid gets sick? What if all this? And what I've learned is that planning, even though it seems restrictive, it actually gives you a lot more freedom. Because right now there's 5 million things in your head that you know you have to do, and every day that they don't get done, the list just gets longer and longer and longer and longer. Versus having a plan for your day where you know that something is going to get done on each specific day. And while it feels like, well then what if it doesn't get done? You can adjust it to the next day. The beauty in a plan is that it takes the stress out of your brain and puts it on a calendar. And when it's on the calendar, you have the freedom to move it if needed. That doesn't mean that you can like procrastinate or not do it, but what it means is like if you put too much on your plate, you can move it to the next day. If a kid gets sick, you can move it, to the next time slot that you have. This means you are not stuck beating yourself up for the things that you don't get done, the things that you wish you did, and all the chaos no longer lives in your brain. If you don't really know where to start with that, I did do a video, I believe it's right here where it's gonna show up. You can go watch that where I walk you through how to plan your day. Number 2 is we need to drastically lower our expectations. Now I've talked about this before on this channel, I talk about it all the time on my podcast, is that we expect so much of ourselves, especially as moms, especially as single moms, because we feel like we have so much more to prove. We have to prove we're not a burden on society. We have to prove that we're a good parent. We have to prove that we can be both parents for our kids. We have to prove that we can do it all and not get in anyone's way, not impact anybody else. We just have to keep going. And the reality is that that's just not true. I was having a conversation with my friend the other day where we're talking about how we have been taught and conditioned to just keep going because if we stop, the world stops. And if the world stops, everybody is affected. And my brain likes to tell me that if I stop, not only does the whole world stop, but a whole meteor is gonna come and crash down on the earth and everybody's gonna die and it's gonna be all because I decided to take a break. Not exactly realistic and not exactly worth thinking about, right? But the truth is that we do stuff like that all the time. We need to drastically lower our expectations and realize that we are human. And while I get it, you have so much on your plate and you can't slow down. But the reality is that right now, it ain't working for you. While you're telling yourself you can't slow down, you're getting less and less and less done. What if by lowering your expectations for yourself, you took off some of that pressure and doubled your productivity because you didn't have all of this other stuff sitting on top of your brain? Give yourself some grace. And look, I get it. It sounds too good to be true, and I've absolutely been there. But especially now that I am working from home, I've got this new job and I'm doing freelancing and I have, my podcast and my YouTube channel and we're about to do this massive road trip. There's a lot and I had to realize there's only so much that I could do. And so the other night over co-working, my friend and I, we just made a plan for the next 3 weeks. And I took so much off of my plate. I was just like, all right, this just isn't a priority right now. If I have time to do it, cool, but it's not something I'm gonna actively force into my schedule because I just don't have time. And while that absolutely sucked, yesterday for the first time in forever, I actually completed my to-do list. And not only did I complete my to-do list, but I did a little bit extra for the following days because it felt so good. I was able to sit down and spend some time with my kid. I was able to finish my work day. I was able to hang out with my girlfriends over Zoom for co-working without stress. It was amazing. In doing so, I've been more productive because I haven't been stressing over all of those other things. Number 3, stop overcomplicating it. I do this all the time. I am the queen of making things so much more complicated than they need to be. I absolutely love to take the most simple, basic task and just make it unnecessarily hard. You should try to watch me play Portal. it's a bit of a disaster. I enjoy it, but everyone else watching me is like, why didn't you just take the straight path? Because I need to make it harder for myself. I don't deserve it if it's not hard. I don't deserve it if it's not difficult. We take that with us on our motherhood journey. And just like I said before, we feel like we have to prove ourselves. And if things aren't hard, we feel like we're not working enough, we're not doing enough, and clearly there's something we're not doing. And if we're happy, then we're letting someone down. If we're happy, we're not working hard enough. So therefore, we have to just keep going and not even bat an eye, just keep hustling. It doesn't matter how burnt out we are, it doesn't matter how tired we are, we have to make things as complicated as possible. And I understand that that's a gross oversimplification, but at the end of the day, that's kind of the reality we're in. We love to overcomplicate things with all of these big systems that aren't really systems, they're just really long to-do lists. We like to overcomplicate things by overthinking meal plans and trying to make things extra fancy when we know all our kid wants is a burger and macaroni and cheese. And heck, all we want is a burger and macaroni and cheese. We make things so overcomplicated because we feel we have to step up, when that stepping up is actually holding us back from the relationship with our kids that we desperately want to have. So stop overcomplicating it. Let things be simple, let things be a bit messy, and let things not be perfect. That doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you're a mess. It doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. It means that you are doing what you need to do to be the best mom you can be. And you cannot be the best mom you can be when you are stretched so thin. It's time to take it back to basics. Let things be simple. I've shared about it before, but what I started to let my son do for laundry is I realized that I was folding all of the laundry, and then when he was putting it away, it would get messed up, and then I would get angry at him, and then he would get mad because I got mad, and then it made him feel bad, then it made me feel bad, and then it was just a disaster. And I realized if he doesn't care about his folded clothes, why on earth am I so obsessed about folding his clothes when they all end up in a pile anyway? So what I did is we hang up all the shirts, and then I got him 3 little drawers. They're like the little square cube drawer thingies. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. And he gets 3 of them. 1 for underwear, socks, miscellaneous, 1 for shorts, and 1 for pants. It really is that simple, and as frustrating as it is, it has saved me so much, not only time, but my sanity. It has made it a lot easier and more fun for him to put his laundry away. It even makes him want to come over and help me sort and go through things and put his own stuff away. Versus before, it was this big dramatic problem because I wanted him to do something in his space, for his body, for his stuff. And when he asked me why he needed to do it, I didn't have a good answer. I just thought that in order to be a good mom, I had to fold everything perfectly, and if I didn't, I was trash. And that's just not true. Let things be easy, let things be messy, let things not be complicated. Those are 3 things that have drastically improved my life in really, really big ways, and I hope that they can help you too. Really quick, let's recap. Number 1, plan your dang day. 2, lower your expectations. And number 3, stop overcomplicating it. Keep things as simple as possible, and you actually will find that you enjoy life that much